Have you ever gone searching for a better education opportunity, but feel like you're lost at sea? Join us today as we talk about our education journey for our third grader. Welcome to Sarah Still Teaches, a place where we get real about the education of our children. Today we're going to be talking about our third grader, Leland, and how we found ourselves homeschooling. So let's start with his backstory a little bit. Leland went to preschool at a university child development center and had a really good foundation going into school in kindergarten. So he started kindergarten, things were going really well. He started kindergarten at a school where I was teaching and did kindergarten and first grade there. And it was great. We knew all the teachers, he was very comfortable. It was a great education opportunity for him at the time. And then we were blessed with our twins. And so life got a little interesting and we found ourselves reevaluating our home situation. And so I found myself staying home and able to explore some other options for Leland for education. We were looking for a school that would be a just right fit for him, and we settled on a charter school that we felt really good about at the time. He started there in second grade, and second grade started off really well. He was learning so much. I was amazed at all of the things he was learning. He was really doing well, starting to make friends, fit in, and it seemed like it was going to be a good fit for him. And then at the end of second grade, there started to be a few things that we were kind of questioning a little bit, but I didn't want to be the helicopter teacher mom and question every little thing. So I found myself saying, okay, we're going to stick this out for one more year and see if third grade things improve and things change and we feel better about this decision. So third grade started and we started becoming more concerned about the impact school was having on his life, our life as a family. The homework load was a lot. We were finding ourselves not wanting to sign up for fun activities like swim lessons or extracurriculars because, well, where would we fit homework in if we signed up for extracurriculars? That would mean our third grader would be staying up really late at night. I had never worked in a school where that age had so much homework, such a big workload. And I just felt uncomfortable with it. It was like he would come home and he'd worked so hard all day at school and every minute is dedicated to learning in school, and that's really important and every minute counts. But then when you get home, some kids just want to be a kid, and like he had missed his brother and sister and they've missed him. And so here he comes in the door and we've got to sit down and knock out an hour and a half of homework before we can do anything together as a family. I just found that we were really struggling to get that workload done, fit fun things in, and still enjoy our time together. And then a few things started happening in the classroom and he came home with some negative self-talk about how he was feeling about himself. And I was just like, as a teacher, my heart hurt. And I felt like I couldn't just let this continue happening. Late October, and we were finding ourselves going, okay, we can't stick this out until May. That's not fair to him or to us. Let's start looking at what can we do. So we started doing our research. First, we started with where we live. And the school that we are zoned for did not feel like a good fit for Leland for several reasons. And then we started searching outside of that school and looking into surrounding districts, and we were finding ourselves shut out. There is not a lot of opportunity for mid-year choices. If you choice into this school next year, you might be at this elementary school this year, but you could find yourselves having to move to a different elementary within our district the following year if there's not room. And again, we don't want something where we're going to bounce around to a different school every year. Still want a little bit of consistency. And so we felt like we had all of these options, but they weren't really options. We didn't feel like there was a viable traditional school option for us at the time. So we started talking about homeschooling. Initially, it was a conversation between my husband and I, and we started talking about what could we do if we homeschooled? We traveled a lot in the summer of 2022 and just in the state of Colorado, and we loved it. We loved being able to pick up and go and do things on a whim. And when we were in traditional school, we didn't have that option. So we thought, well, that would be awesome. If we could go on trips whenever we wanted to, we could start traveling more and taking our kids to see other places. And so that was a big pro for us when we were weighing the pros and cons of making this decision. Then we started talking about what would it look like socially? Would he still be able to hang out with other kids? How could we find social groups? And so we started talking about how are we going to make that work for him as well, because friends are important. So then came the step of talking to Leland. We are very big about letting our kids have some say in choices that we make as a family and things we decide to do and participate in. So one night at dinner, we're like, hey, Leland, what would you think if we started homeschooling you? And so, of course, he had lots of questions, really great questions. So we answered those questions as honestly as we could. And he looked at us at the end and said, I think that sounds like a fun idea. With Leland on board, my husband and I on board, we decided, let's give this homeschooling thing a go. If you're curious about what we did next, check out our next video on how we got started homeschooling in Colorado. And if you have any questions about how we made this choice, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me today.